Going where the fair winds blow, our home is where the waters flow. We'll show you what we've come to know on board while sailing wisdom.
And now for a cloud lesson. So if you look here, you can see many clouds that are climbing. They're going up, and they're all going in that direction. And then if we look this way, they're all going in that direction. And these look like they're just coming up. So what that means is we're in the middle of wind coming at us, so the ones to this side look like they're hooked that way, and the ones that way are hooked that way. And the rising clouds means that there's instability, which is going to lead to wind, which is why we now have good wind. So all we gotta do is keep an eye on these clouds, make sure they don't get too big, because then they can turn into a squall. But generally, these big, fluffy white clouds mean good sailing. So before we had absolutely no wind, and all the clouds were very flat, which means that the atmosphere is very stable. Nothing's rising, nothing's changing, there's no movement of wind, and therefore there's no wind for us to sail with. That was because there was a low pressure that was passing by us, and we were kind of on the outside where there wasn't any wind, and just nothing was happening. That guy's gone, high pressure came in, and the skies are now clear. We can see the sun for the first time in a few days, which is amazing. And and
small pleasures.
The small pleasures of cruising life, seeing the sun, even though you live outside. And then the clouds that were flat all started to climb. And when the clouds are climbing, that means that there's instability in the atmosphere, so hot things can start rising again. As the hot air rises, new air is going to come in from beneath, and then you're going to get wind. The clouds started passing over us, and then so did the wind come.
So did the wind come.
We've been floating for 2 days, going nowhere. And we've been circling in a little 10-mile radius. Not in a circle, I mean, we went all over the place. We didn't go anywhere.
We were an abstract artist.
Yes. So, our old AIS, which is up here, used to just beep to let us know that we're going to be really close to someone. Just like that. And it gives you the ship's name and the distance and how close you're going to be. That's all it gives you. It doesn't tell you if you're going to be passing starboard to starboard, port to port, head on, like none of that info. The new AIS that we have does. So it's beeping as well. The only problem with having the new AIS is now we have 2 things to beep at us. All the time. So many beeps. Especially in a high traffic zone like we are in. Wow.
Woo!
Yeah. Hey guys! Come to say hello? Woo! Wow!
Made a pasta salad with cavalla, which is our favorite canned fish from, Portugal. It's pretty good. The weather's finally warm enough that the rigging can handle our jib Josh. Previously we haven't been able to put him up because when it gets really cold our rigging actually goes slack since it's Dyneema. But today we finally have enough warmth that we're able to put up Josh, and it's been a really long time, so it's making us really happy to be able to put him up. Further south we go, I'm sure the warmer it will get, and getting pretty excited. Excited for Algarve. Nothing like a beautiful sunset to complete a good day and accompany the making of pizza dough.
I'm making pizza dough. So while we were sitting out here looking at the gorgeous sunset, we started talking about pizza. And Maddie said she was hungry, and I was getting a little hungry too. So I thought, hey, I'll start the pizza dough. We'll watch a movie. When we're done with the movie, the pizza dough will be ready to put in the oven and make pizza.
This is what we talk about. We talk about pizza. Probably don't need my sunglasses anymore. I was like, why is everything really dark?
Conversations are definitely not as deep as the water we're in, because the water we're in is 12,000 feet deep.
Just let that sink in for a minute. I'll wait while it sinks. I got time.
So a little snafu with the provisioning. We forgot to buy salt, and our previous salt turned into a rock of nasty moistness. So we tossed that sucker. So, how do we make bread without any salt? In the ocean. So I just picked up a little bucket of seawater. It is the cleanest salt water you can get because we're about 50 miles from shore. Actually, you can get cleaner if you go further out. But, pizza salt. I am very proud of myself because I made a really pretty pizza crust.
It's very pretty. Now we're going to put toppings all over it.
Yes, all hail the wonderful pizza. Got our pizza made. This half is mine. The side that's empty is Maddie's, because she doesn't want as much spam, mushrooms, and everything. But I do. Alright, and then now we wait. Now that's a pizza. We're in here. That's why I always coat everything in raw flour. From Puerto Rican and Baltimore. All from Portugal. It's an international dish.
This pizza's bigger than my head. Oh,
How is it?
very hot. Mmm, very good.
Thanks, babe. Today there's no wind, but unlike the other days when there's been no wind, the little itty bitty bit of wind that there is today is blowing in the correct direction, which means we can use our downwind sails and get somewhere. So this is the beauty of hank-on instead of roller furling. I can real easily just swap out the sail that we're going to be using for the head sail. So usually we have a jib on there, and then on days like today, we just hank the drifter on. And we actually hank the drifter on top of the jib that we usually have. So we don't even have to take off that sail. Now if we had roller furling, yeah, you could, drop the sail out of the furler, put in the new sail, your light air sail, and then now you have a light air sail in your furl. The problem is, when the wind picks back up, you have to unfurl the entire light air sail in the heavier air, bring it down onto the deck, and then put it in your other sail that you want to be using at that time. Now, if the winds have picked up to the point where you need to furl up your light air sail, how are you going to open it up all the way to change it out? Where with Hank on, too much wind for light air sail, drop it, take it off the stay, put the other one up. It's easy. Old head sail Hanks, new head sail Hanks.
Today I finished reading the book Spark of Light by Jodi Picoult, and I thought it was amazing. I highly recommend it. It's about a touchy subject. It's about an abortion clinic that was shot up, and it's not based on true events, but it is based on truth. And so if that's something that you're uncomfortable with, then maybe I don't recommend the book, but it was a very sensitively written novel, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Particularly if you're a woman, I highly recommend it. But if you're a man, you'll appreciate it all the same. So I really enjoyed that one. And now I have started Tess of the D'Urbervilles. So I've gone from very new to very old in terms of literature. And this one is great so far too. So reading is one of my favorite pleasures that sailing offers, because I don't get to just sit and read for hours on end during my regular daily life. So this is kind of a highlight of my journey, and hopefully I can inspire you to get reading as well, because it's just been life-changing for me to be able to read so many books. Right now, the sun is kind of beginning its descent in the sky, and we're on a very good course heading south once again. We're going to take down Dill because we never leave him up overnight in case weather changes, because taking him down in the night, in the darkness, if wind comes, is just not optimal. So we always take him down before evening strikes. We're going to be lifting all of our other sails so that we're full sail, since we are in such light winds. And we're going to make dinner. It's going to be a good dinner tonight. I'm excited to show you what we're going to eat, because I'm excited to eat it.
Get to peace with a little bit of everything. A little bit of sweet potato there.
Careful not to burn yourself.
Alright. That is delicious. So, oh, the flavor just keeps building. So, along with our synthetic rigging, we don't have a tack horn for our mainsail, and when we cover the video on all about our mainsail, we'll show why. And what we have is a dynamo pennant, but this runs right by the clevis pin on the gooseneck and chafes, and this is actually number 2 in 7 years. So they last a while, but this one's had a lot of miles, a lot of reefed miles, and it's gone. Like, it's down. There's about 3 fibers left of the 12. So good thing we caught it today, and we're going to be replacing it. And since this is a disposable item, we carry just a bit of spare. So that is how we tell if we need to reef, especially at dusk when the sun is setting.
We should be arriving at our anchorage early tomorrow morning. We're gonna go and anchor just inside Praia de Roca, which just looks beautiful and safe.
So this part that clamps it to the dinghy is completely seized up. I cannot get it to open, so I can't get it on the dinghies. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends.
And if you'd like to follow our journey in real time on a map, receive postcards from our ports of call, and messages directly to the boat, you can go ahead and become a patron using the link in the description down below.